My name is Joe Kamau. I was born in Nyahururu back in 1947 and brought up in Muranga, in a village called Getweku, near Weidaga Mission. I went to primary school in Kiagunyi, under the Catholic Church, Kiagunyi Mission, back in 1957. Proceeded to the same school for intermediate education, and then proceeded to Kirogo Secondary School for my secondary education back in 1964, finished in 1967. In 1968, I joined Kenya Science Teachers College up to the end of 1970. 1971 July, I joined Nairobi University to do my physics and chemistry. And I graduated in April 1974. After that, I joined Kodak as my first employer as a sales representative. Worked with them until I transitioned to Dunlop in 1977 as a sales manager. Then I transitioned from Dunlop to UGA Group Limited as their group marketing manager. Within a year and a half of working for UGA, I came to the end of my formal employment. And by February 1981, I got into business. I got out of employment, got into business, and I have never looked back. Since then, I've spent a lot of time in the construction industry. In the construction industry, during the interim period, I've also joined forces with other people to establish other enterprises. Like one outstanding example of those enterprises is Transcentury. Transcentury is actually my brainchild. Just around the same time when we were doing Transcentury, we started Wananchi Online, which is still a very active institution today. And therefore, I've spent all my life since I quit my formal employment in business. And I'm still in that space.
So by introduction, my name is Judith Mutsuri, and I'm very happy to be here. Born in Nairobi and grew up in Nairobi and went to school in Nairobi. My primary and secondary education was all based in Nairobi. And however, I went to the US for my college education and also did my master's in the US, and also had my first work experience in the US in investment banking. It's very interesting because I was in the healthcare space, so looking after the health of people, but from a very different setting, from a corporate setting, yes. Then after working in investment banking, working in a healthcare group, looking after the health of companies and people, so went to the Wharton Business School where I pursued my master's degree, and then later came back to Kenya and worked with a private equity group focused, and the entity was focused on health. The fund I was working with was focused on health. Again, you can see health in the US and health in Kenya. So now that also ran my interest after that. Yeah, so I became engaged in family business. As you can tell by the looks, I'm with my father, so I've been working in family business and I've been very involved in family entities.
Now, we are in the space of sanitization, not by accident. It was a deliberate decision on our part. With the onset of COVID-19, we put our hands together and wondered, how can we play an active role in saving the lives of our people? And we made a decision that we are going to be involved in the sanitization process. We had zero knowledge of how the alcohol sanitizers function? How do they kill pathogens? How long do they protect people? Those kind of questions. So we decided we need to know about the alcohol-based sanitizers and the mode of operation. And indeed, we got into consultation with the medics, with the scientists, both locally and internationally. And very quickly, we were meant to understand about the mode of operation of alcohol-based sanitizers. One, they kill pathogens through two chemical processes. One of them is dehydration, and the other one is poisoning. We also meant to understand their efficacy is at its optimum when you apply it on your skin and it is wet. As alcohol-based sanitizers started drying up, their efficacy diminishes geometrically. So a logical question was, by the time this alcohol-based sanitizer dries up on your skin, will it have killed all the pathogens, 100%? Or is there a possibility some of the pathogens will be left semi-alive? And therefore, what happens to those pathogens? Again, we went back to the consultants, the experts, and our questions were answered immediately. We were told for sure some of the pathogens are left semi-alive. And life being as precious as it is, they wriggle back into life. However, unfortunately for the mankind, they come back more lethal entities compared with the original pathogens. So that's a disadvantage to us. Now, when it comes to the element of how long do you remain protected with alcohol sanitizers, that's a period of running to a maximum of 1 hour. So the million-dollar question is, if you want to remain 100% protected over the period of time you are awake and active, what do you have to do? You have, therefore, to continue remembering to sanitize once after every 1 hour. Is it doable? The answer is yes. Is it easy? The answer is no. Places a huge responsibility on your shoulders. So it is at that stage we put our hands together with my team, and we started wondering, could there be a possibility somebody somewhere manufactures non-alcohol-based sanitizers, which gives you longevity of protection, which do not interact negatively with the human beings, neither with the environment. So we defined the 4 parameters. And we set out there, using the internet, to look for any possibility of that kind of product being available anywhere in the world, or a group of products being available anywhere in the world. And within a very short time, we were able to link up with a company in New Zealand by the name ZOONO Group Limited. First and foremost, even though we haven't talked much about the products we are using, first and foremost, our particular group of products were innovated and first produced back in 2010. And therefore, the manufacturer did not just happen to mushroom to look after COVID-19. Our products were deliberately designed to control or minimize the incidence of pathogens in the environment we live in. Now, with the reduction of positivity rate of COVID-19, does not mean that our products have no application in human life. Pathogens are still here with us. Maybe even COVID-19 is still lying low around us. So we still need to observe very strict hygiene regimes around us, where we live in our houses, where we work, in hospitals, in schools where we take children, literally in every human habitat. We need to continue observing very high standards of hygiene, and that is our contribution to mankind.
Very keen to improve their health and to look after our health. And I'm sure we have seen that, especially now with the current pandemic. Health is it's one key thing. In fact, we listen to different news items on TV. You'll hear different items and different concerns of people about health. So I think it's very keen that we should be very focused on health. So we've been very keen on that. And as it was mentioned, Concordia Solutions focuses on improving health and safety and maintaining hygiene and safety. Because if you do that, if you talk to many doctors, they'll mention that over the past 1 or 2 years, because we are wearing masks, we are maintaining social distance. So that reduces the number of people who are going to hospital for colds or different ailments. Why? Because we are maintaining our safety and our hygiene. So I think that definitely lends to the emphasis and focus that yes, there is another way, or there are other ways of maintaining our health. In addition to medication, what else can we do? How do we keep ourselves safe? So that has been a huge focus. I think that gives you confidence that this is not something specific or a particular pathogen, yes? It hits all the different pathogens or various viruses and bacteria. So you should feel safe that yes, I'll continue using this in the different parameters. At work, at school, all these things are still there. So how do you keep yourself safe? So I think in my view, safety is key and hygiene is key. It doesn't stop with a particular pathogen. No, we need to continue keeping safe. And that's what we are very focused on.